Here's one of my favorite things. It's how to cope with overwhelm. Because basically, if you can cope with overwhelm, you can do anything. And it's very exciting. This I've proven with my team so many times, but I want to make this a reality for you, right? So what is overwhelm? Well, to me, it's basically, it's like you're swimming in the ocean, yeah? And there you are, swimming away. If you're like me, it's a little doggy paddle, because I need to learn to swim properly. But that's where you are, lovely, looking at this blue sky, seagulls flying around. But you look over and you see this thing. This massive wave bearing down on you. And it's just so high and you can't see over the top of it, and you know it's going to come crashing on top of you. And you know, that feeling is like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So that's like overwhelm. And in the workplace, this, I don't know about you, but I've experienced this quite a few times. And I remember one of the times it was pretty severe. And it was what, it's about three and a half years ago now. But I remember the occasion as vividly as it was yesterday. And what it was we just implemented a brand new finance system. And this system, it was pretty cool. It was going to run all of Hertz's businesses. So all the finance and purchasing and transactions for basically all of Hertz. And this one system was going to replace 28 different systems. And yeah, it was a big thing. Very, very critical and really cool bit of technology we're putting in. But here was the problem. It was what, 10 or 11 days after we'd gone live with it. So the system was in and we were all there supposed to be using it. But like with a lot of these implementations, things, they hadn't quite gone to plan. We'd actually gone in to press the button and pay our first bill, and guess what? Nothing happened. There was no check went out, there was no statement on the bank, nothing happened. And that was day one. Day two, we tried again, nothing really happened. Day three, a few things happened, but not much. We were now on day 10. On day 10, and what that meant was that okay, we'd started off with, we had to pay, we'd pay about 30 million a day, yeah? Yeah? Now, you delay that for one day, and you've got 60 million to pay, yeah? You delay that for 10 days, you have 300 million to pay, okay? This is beginning to look like that overwhelm situation. Well, that's where we were. We had a pile of bills that we could not pay because we had no system. And the panic had begun to set in. I'd just been at a meeting where basically the CEO and the CFO had been there as well, and they were not happy. They were quite frankly worried. And that panic was coming down on the whole team, my team and all the other teams, the IT teams, because we knew we were in a problem. We had no view on how to sort this out. And the worst thing was, I knew that even if tomorrow this got suddenly sorted and we were suddenly able to pay the bills, it would still take us ages to be able to pay off all of these 300 million, because we could only pay at about 45 million a day. So even if everything magically today became right, we still had a massive problem. So I left the office and yeah, the best way, I had this, like nerves and tightness in the tummy, and it was about 8:30 at night, but I hadn't eaten lunch and breakfast had really skimmed over, so I had to get something. So drove out down to the local gas station, and you know that cabinet and all of those sandwiches that normally you'd never want to eat, right? Never, soggy lettuces. Well, this looked great to me, so I grabbed one of them, back into the car, drove around just next door to Barnes & Noble and parked the car. And it was then that it started hitting. It was then that this started dawning on me. It was like, oh, wow. If this doesn't get sorted, right, the company is in danger, right? As a company, if you can't pay your bills, that is so serious. And it was my area that couldn't pay the bills, irrespective of where the problem was or where it was sorted. And if anyone was going to sort this, it was going to have to be me. And I was looking at this massive wave, and I did not have the answers. And I knew that people were looking to me to have the answers. And it was that realization that, oh, I'm likely to fail here. And I'm likely to fail big time. And if I fail big time, the implications of that is, you know, we have a bust company. We have a company that can't do one of the basic things. And I just remember just sitting there going, oh crap, what am I going to do? What can I do? And I just remember it's like a light sweat, you know, that when you really don't know what to do, and your brain is just flying around with all of these different scenarios, just spatting. You just can't think straight. And I was just sitting there in the car, sandwich there, not eating, no appetite at all. And next thing, I still remember vividly, Katy Perry's song "Roar" came on the radio, and you know, they go, "What's that?" And next thing, the chorus came on, and you know, "You're going to hear me roar," as only Katy Perry can sing it. I won't even attempt to sing it for you guys. But I remember listening to the words of that, and it just struck me that if this was going to be sorted, I was going to have to find my voice. I was going to have to roar. I was going to have to somehow figure this out, because no one else in the company, no one else outside of the company was going to be able to come in and go and try and figure this mess out. It just was not going to happen. And I remember just going, oh, I have no idea. But somehow I know that I'm going to have to get over this overwhelm. I'm going to have to push through it, and I'm going to have to make it happen. So that's what I did. Turned on the car again. I did not eat the sandwich, just for the record, but I drove in and went up to my team, and basically we had a very big heart-to-heart. Now they'd already been working, most of them probably 20 days straight, through the weekends and everything, pulling long hours to try and sort this out. So they were tired too, but I knew what I had to do. It was my responsibility. I did not have the answers, but I had to make sure that they knew that we were not going to be sort of pulled in by this wave. We were going to get through this. And by me making my stand, by me roaring, by me stepping up there, everyone else lifted their game, and they could see a light, and they could see a bit of an inspiration. And guess what happened? Well, the following day, we did actually make our first payment. And I mean, first payment, we got one check out out of the about 12,000 checks we should have gotten out. But we started to see progress. The following day, we got a bit more done, and a bit more, and a bit more. And yes, it was still panicking, but we started making inroads in this. And this went up, by the way. This kept going up. But about 2 weeks later, the amount of money we had to pay started coming down again. We were paying more than was building up. Things are beginning to work. And it was just a relief, just the relief that the whole team felt, the relief that the CEO and the CFO felt. We still had a lot of work to do, but things are working. And it was because of the situation here. I didn't let it get overwhelmed. I used I dug deep in myself to go and see this differently. And when I look back and people say, well, now what exactly did you do? Well, there were two things I'm going to share with you that I did do. And I realize, and I drum into everyone now, and I'm going to share them with you. But in a picture, this is what I did. So I saw myself here, right? Swimming doggy paddle again, seagulls, and seeing this big wave and going, big wave. But here is how I now see that. Same big massive wave, me in the water, but this is what I see. I see myself here. Yeah, on a surfboard. It's the same wave, but when I'm on a surfboard, what do I see? This is going to crash on top of me, yeah, just like here. But guess what? And it's probably going to knock me off, and it's probably going to, hit me and batter around. But guess what? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to do it, I'm going to learn, because this is now an opportunity, because I might catch this wave right. I might actually be sailing along the top, folding over me, coming out the middle, through it. Yeah? It's the exact same wave, same situation, but now I see myself here. I always try and, if I ever, even a hint of being overwhelmed, I make that transition. Yeah? So here are the two things that I want you to take away from this. And these could be a massive difference in your career. It could save your sanity, okay? So please pay attention. I know they're very quick and they're very short, but these have made a huge difference to everyone I've ever taught these to. The first thing is when you're here, remember that with time and persistence, I better check spelling police, is that okay? Oh, I got a thumbs up from the spelling police, I'm good. So with time and persistence, you can beat any wave. It's always been the case for you, always, always. So if you had a bit of time to learn how to do that surf, and if you had a bit of persistence, so you phone up a coach, you phone up people in the know, you will conquer any problem, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. Always been the case, okay? So if you accept that, then the next part is absolutely obvious, right? Your self-belief. Yeah, you can do this. You can always do this. Always, always, always. Self-belief, that's the difference between the surfer and that swimmer. So what I want you to do is, next time you hit overwhelm or even hint of it, just remember these two things. You can change everything with time and persistence. Always, always, always. And given that you know you can always change everything, you have the self-belief, right? Own it. That's yours. Be the surfer. I hope this really helps you. Okay? Thanks a million, and I shall see you next week. So if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, I've got two things that you can actually do right this second. The first thing is click the button just here and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that means that you won't miss any future episodes from me. And the second thing that you can do is, if you click the button just here, is you can sign up for my weekly newsletters, which have loads of free tools and insights and lots of really cool stuff that basically will help you to go and earn your worth in a job you love with a great work-life balance, because you so deserve it.